You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored, the second half. A book for young kids is being very, very upfront about puberty. It's called Wait, What? And it's available in schools in Dallas ISD. It's very educational and also a bit graphic, with illustrated pictures of vaginas and penises on the pages. I asked two parents if they think this is appropriate reading material in schools. They both told me hell to the no.
So what is your concern about this book that talks about puberty?
My concern with this book, and there's a lot of other ones like it that are out at Dallas ISD and even other districts, there's explicit images in the books, and there's a lot of things that children that young don't need to know. And I don't think that these books should be available in the library for any student to pick up. I believe that book there is on Amazon, maybe it says that it's for 4 to 8-year-olds. And I really just don't think that that is anywhere appropriate for that age range.
And Lewis, looking at that book, you've had a chance to look at it and some of the illustrations or artwork in it. Your thoughts on it?
I don't need children sexualized. I would not at that age group. I saw the same thing that Kelly saw, where this was geared towards 4 to 9-year-olds. And but it talks about things. It discusses issues related to sex that don't need to be discussed with children. You know, it speaks about sexual crushes, relationships. I don't see how that pertains. You know, gender roles and stereotypes. I can understand that. You know, so I'm open to some dialogue about gender roles and some of the, as it pertains to biology, sexual reproduction. You know, I can get that, you know, but as far as my children being comfortable, or anyone's children being comfortable with what their sexual responsibilities are with respect to saying no or yes to sex, you know, we can't get topics about what happens in history in our schools, you know, with the critical race theory, you know, but for some reason we can have this in our schools. I did a little bio just because I wanted to see who wrote the book. You know, I wanted to see, you know, what were the influences, and I was looking at Heather and Isabella, Heather Karina and Isabella Rotman, both graduates from the Chicago Art School, Academy for Arts, and she describes herself as a queer rebel rouser polymath. And when I looked at Isabella Rotman's Instagram, you know, she's raffling off leather gay pride dildo and leather pride plug sets. You know, so I don't know who does the background checks for the material that they bring into our school systems, but this would not be my first choice.
When should the books be allowed into the school, at what age?
A lot of these topics like puberty and sex should be taught in biology classes as what they are. I don't think that there should be any of these extra sex ed classes or some of this new gender theory curriculum that we're seeing. I don't think that should ever be in the school. I think that a lot of that should be to the parents' discretion when they want to tell their kids what they want to tell their kids. I don't think that these graphic books that include these graphic images and descriptions should ever be allowed in school libraries.
And Lewis, what's your position on this?
You know, I don't mind having children going through puberty introduced in context to sexuality. You know, that's something that the children have to contend with as they grow up. You know, most boys know they're boys. You know, now what comes along with that has a lot to do with their environment. And I don't think that. And now, as far from the standpoint of discrimination, you know, from the standpoint of actually mistreating another child, bullying another child, I get that. But that should not go to the depths that a book like this goes to. You know, you shouldn't be telling a 4-year-old, hey, it's okay if you like boys or if you like girls. That's something that's completely out of their league. And then again, I question the motivations of the authorship of these books. You know, that's not something that I'm too comfortable with. And it makes me question why. You know, why would you want to push that narrative onto a child as young as 4?
And Kelly, is there a movement to get this book pulled off the shelves of Dallas or what?
Yes. So in all of these Dallas-Fort Worth area districts, There's Dallas ISD isn't the only one with this book, and other very similar ones. There's a movement across North Texas of parents going to school board meetings and testifying about these books and reading excerpts from this book and others. And there are many parents who are aware of it and want it removed, but a lot of the school boards aren't doing anything about it. I can't quite understand why, but there's definitely a large movement to get books like this removed.
All right. Well, we want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate your time tonight.